Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yeshua from the JMS Atlanta camp. Before I get into this message, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kwakadash. I want to send double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, whom rule and teach well, whom taught me this truth. And a sincere shalom to all you Akim and Akwath, you brothers and sisters that are inclining your ear to the 100% doctrine, which is salvation is only for the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. This message is for you all. Let's get Matthew 8 and 5, because this message is going to show that the centurion was an Israelite, a Gentile Israelite, or an Israelite Gentile. There you go. Verse 5, and when Yahushua was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him. So this is where Christians, even the Christian Bible will have like a subheading, Jesus' first miracle to the Gentiles. But let's continue reading, because through critical thinking and common sense, you will be able to see that this was an Israelite in the Roman army. Yes, you heard that right. Jews, so-called Jews, could be in the Roman army. All right? Matter of fact, well, let's go back to this. Yahushua entered into Capernaum, first and foremost. And for those that like to see it here, you do a quick Google search here. Where was Capernaum in the Bible? It was a fishing village in the Sea of Galilee in Israel. So Yahushua is in his land. Okay, so there's evidence number one. He was in his land doing miracles to his people, the Israelites. But what I wanted to do was I want to do a quick Google search, because visualization is a lot for our people. So if you do a quick Google search, were there Jews in the Roman army? The answer is yes. There were Jews in the Roman army, and there was Jews that served as foot soldiers, generals, centurions. Matter of fact, there was a great, a big named Israelite that besieged Israel during the fall, man. His name was Tiberius Julius Alexander. Let's go ahead and get that. This is Tiberius Julius Alexander, and this is on Wikipedia. So like, I'm outside, kind of bugs out and about. Alexander was an equestrian governor and a general in the Roman Empire, born into a wealthy Jewish family of Alexandria. But abandoning or neglecting the Jewish religion, he arose to become a second procreator of Judea under Claudius. Skip down. In 70 AD, he participated in the siege of Jerusalem as Titus's second in command. See, our own people destroyed our city, man. So that centurion was an Israelite Gentile who knew the scriptures, but he was a Roman soldier, man. Go ahead and, I encourage you brothers to look into that guy. He's into his history, Tiberius. But, just like as the Roman, as nowadays, there are Israelites, blacks, natives, and Hispanics in the army. This is a quick Google search. Army diversity statistics. As of October 31st, 2022, 53% of those in the army are white, 20% are so-called black, 17% are Hispanic, and 1% are Gadites, Native Americans, man. So just as you see here, there are people that are not American that are serving in the American military. There was also Israelites that were serving in the Roman military. So put that into your head. This was an Israelite Gentile. Let's continue on. And verse 6, and saying, Lord, my servant lies at home. Matter of fact, I'm going to change Lord out and put Yahweh, because he was calling him by his name, Yahushua, and saying, well, no, let's not. And saying, Lord, my servant lies at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yahushua said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shalt come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. Now, do you see the respect that he has for Yahushua? He's saying, I'm not worthy, because he knew who he was, man. See, if it was a Roman soldier, who were the Romans? They were an occupational force. They didn't care about the Israelite tradition. And I mean, you can even get this from some of the communication that you see between the Romans in the New Testament when they deliver up Yahushua. They did not care for our laws, man. So a Roman would not be showing Yahushua respect, but this Israelite Gentile is, that's why he said, I'm not worthy for you to come into my house, man. There was respect there. Let's continue on. Let's continue on here. Verse 9, for I am a man verse 8, the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. Verse 9, for I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes. And to my servant, do this, and he does. And he does it. Just like, how many Israelites do we know who be showing off that safety vest? Hey, man, check me out, man. I'm the boss. I'm a supervisor, This was an Israelite. Verse 10. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith. No, not in Israel. Why? Because many Israelites that were observing the law. See, there was a separation then, just like there's a separation now. The separation is back then was that there were Israelites that were practicing the laws and the commandments, that were observing the Sabbath also. And then there were Israelite Gentiles who were Israelites, but they weren't practicing the laws and the commandments. They were eating whatever filth. And that separation is here today. Because we that have woken up to the realization that we are the Hebrew Israelites, we don't, we try to minimize, if not eliminate, any dealings with our own people because they're not awake, even our own family members. So there's a separation here, man. There's a separation. So he knew that, like picture this, man. Picture, our people, when they see Yahushua, they're going to bend the knee. But, it may be too late, but there's going to be a humbleness, He knew, so for those scoffers out there that have heard this truth, that have heard the truth, when you see him, you're going to reverence him. You really are. I don't want to stray. Verse 10. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled. Oh, yeah. Salakia. That's the point that I'm trying to make. He marveled and said, hey, I ran into people that say they observe the law and say that they knew the prophets, but those Israelites, those practicing Israelites of the law, of the Tanakh, those practicing Israelites, they didn't accept me. But here is this Gentile Israelite accepting me. That's what Yahushua was marveled at. Verse 11, I say unto you that many shall come from the east and the west and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. He's saying, in the future, many scattered Israelites like us in the land of Babylon are going to come from the east, from the west, from the south. Once we're scattered, we're going to come because we're Gentiles. Even though we woke up and we understand who we are, we're still considered Gentiles. We're filthy. We're in Babylon. We're in the land of our captivity. But Yahushua is saying, there's going to be other Gentile Israelites just like you, centurion. just like you, who are going to believe me, and that's us. But there are those who are still not going to believe. Okay, so let's continue on verse 12. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. Oh, you see, I mean, I can already hear the Christians now. See, he's talking about Gentiles and kicking out his own people. No, because the book of Romans tells us all of Israel shall be saved. We are the apple of his eye. Yahushua is making a distinction and saying there are some in other camps who observe the law but are not calling upon the right name. And though they practice the law, though they are Israel, they shall be cast out. And there are other Israelites who sometimes screw up on the law, but we're under grace. But they're going to be accepted, and that's us. That's you. If this message resonates with you, man, you are a Hebrew Israelite. Verse 13, and Yahushua said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in that same hour. So this whole interaction was in Israel, and it was about a centurion, an Israelite centurion who was in the Roman army. And I gave you an example I Googled it for you to show you that Israelites could be in the Roman army. And I even showed you an example of a famous Israelite Roman general, Tiberius, who sieged our own city, man. So it was an Israelite. Yahushua never did any miracles or healing to Gentiles. And when they asked him to, he said he wasn't going to, but he had to get other sheep scattered elsewhere, talking about the northern kingdom. So I hope this lesson has been edifying. Do your own research, and you will see that it was an Israelite centurion. And with that, I say shalom.